In this video, I'm going to show you what settings to use to get the most out of Sora. So currently, Sora is only available for paid tiers of subscriptions, and there are two tiers of paid subscriptions now. There's the $20 subscription to ChatGPT, and there's the $200 tier, which they just added. The $20 tier only has 1,000 credits that you can use with Sora, and you can't buy additional credits currently. The Pro version has 10,000 credits, and I don't think you can buy additional credits on that currently either. And then, of course, the free version, you don't have any credits, so you can't use Sora on the free version currently. Hopefully they'll add some more tiers in there in between the $20 and the $200 because it's a big jump. But most people have the $20 tier if they're paying for the subscription, or the free tier. And so $200 is quite a bit, and I'm sure quite a few people and companies will get the $200 tier if they do a lot of videos. But currently for most people, we're on the $20 tier, and so it's important that we use the settings on Sora in a way that's efficient to what we want to do with our limited credits. So by default, we have a 16:9 aspect ratio, which is horizontal. It's set to 420p, 5 seconds, and 2 videos, so it gives you 2 different versions per prompt. And if I hover over this question mark, it says it's costing us 50 credits per prompt for this. So with 1,000 credits, you're going to end up with 20 prompts and 40 videos. So 2 versions for each prompt that you have, and that's going to cost you 50 credits. We can double the amount of prompts. It won't double the amount of videos. We'll end up with the same number of videos. We'll end up with 40 prompts and 40 videos if we go down to 1 video. And that will give you the advantage to this setting is that you'll get the most 5-second clips that you can, and so you can experiment a little bit more. So if you're more interested in experimenting with Sora, or getting the most amount of videos that you can get per month, remember this is for the entire month, then this would be a pretty good setting to have. You could also upscale this. Unfortunately, Sora doesn't have an upscale function right now, and so you'd have to take it to a different piece of software or a different website to upscale it. Like you could take it to Runway and upscale it. Runway, you can upscale the videos, so you can create them in a lower resolution and then upscale them for a certain number of credits. And you can buy more credits on Runway, which is an advantage to Runway right now. But if you're just kind of dabbling in this, or you have an upscaler, in 480p is okay with you, the resolution. It's going to look fine on like a smartphone and probably most tablets as well, because the screens are smaller. This is done at 480 right here, and it doesn't look bad. 480 is what TVs used to be before we got into the higher definition type stuff. So it's acceptable, I suppose, depending on your use case. But it's kind of up to your taste and what you want to use it for. But by going down to 1 video per generation or per prompt, we get more prompts out of it, which I think is more useful. It's nice to have multiple versions per prompt so that you can pick one or the other. But the other strategy you could use is just to generate one video at a time per prompt, and then you can always regenerate it, and you can adjust it each one. So if you have just one, instead of picking between 1 or 2, you can just totally regenerate it, or you can tweak it. You can go back and tweak it later. So that's the advantage to that. Now, if you don't have upscaling and you prefer it to be at 720, You can only do 5 seconds at 720. If you do 480, you could actually go up to a 10-second clip if you wanted to. So at 480p, 5 seconds in one video, it's only 25 credits per prompt. If we go up to 720p, say you just want to put out some short clips that you can use, and you want them to be at 720p, you're going to end up at, if we go over the question mark, it says it's 60 credits, and so that would be a little less. I think it's like you would end up with 16 instead of 40. So you'd only end up with 16 prompts and 16 videos instead of 40 prompts and 40 videos. So you get a lot more out of the 420, I guess. So that might be what you want to go with if you want to experiment with it and see how it works. And at times you may, if it might be something that you want to use, you could get some upscaling software, or if you use Runway or another service that has upscaling, you could upscale it on Runway. Right now, if you can only use 1,000 credits a month and you can't buy any more credits, there's a limited usefulness if you only have the plus tier, because it's really not enough credits to even do a very short video. I guess you could do a very, very short video, but you're not going to be able to do a video more than, you're looking at videos in the range probably less than 60 seconds at that, because if it's 5 seconds, if you could generate out 5 seconds, so if you could do 40 videos, you're looking at around 3 minutes of video time per month at 420p, and if you went to 720p, you're looking at about like 1.5 minutes of total of videos, and not all of those video clips are going to be useful. So you're looking at probably less than 3 minutes of video, and it's hard to say how much of that will be usable depending on how lucky you are and how much you need to change it, or how many different times you need to run a prompt to get the video you clip, just the clip that you want. So you'll get 3 minutes of clips at 480, which you could probably edit down to like 1 minute pretty easily, probably. But if you're at 720p, you're at 1.5 minutes of total video, and so you probably only get maybe 30 seconds of usable video on that, depending, once again, how lucky you are and how picky you are about what it generates. So probably if you really want to do videos or really mess with videos and kind of produce a more finished product and do more in a month, you may want to use Runway or a tool like that where you can buy additional credits, so you can get a lower tier and buy additional credits if you need to buy it or whatever. But certainly Sora is good enough to mess around with and get some stuff out of. It might take you 2 months to get a full video you can use, but you can also generate some of these clips and use them in other things. So depending on how you're using it, you don't have to necessarily create an entire video with AI. You may just use some of the clips in other videos that you're doing as well. Or you may just be doing it for fun, in which case it doesn't make that much difference one way or another. So those are the things to consider when setting the default settings for Sora. I would definitely go down from 2 videos to 1 video. And then it would be up to you whether you want to go for the 480p or the 1080p, or 720p. So probably for a lot of use cases, you'd go with the 420p, just so you can mess around with it more. And then you can, like I said, you can always upgrade them with something else later on if you wanted to use them in a circumstance where you wanted a higher resolution.